A king once ordered the death of a child, not because of war, not because of rebellion, but because of a prophecy that said this child would rise above kings and destroy an empire. So the order was simple: the child must die. No hesitation, no mercy, no mistakes. Because in a world ruled by power, threats are not allowed to grow. But something went wrong. The child survived, hidden, forgotten, erased from history, or so they believed. That child was Cyrus the Great, and the empire that tried to erase him had no idea. It had just created its own downfall. The prophecy reached the ears of Astyages, ruler of the powerful Median Empire. To him, this was not just a story, it was a threat that could destroy everything he had built. And so, he made a decision that kings had made throughout history. The child had to be eliminated, but history does not always follow the will of kings. Instead of dying, the child was secretly spared. Taken far from the palace, away from power and danger, Cyrus was raised in silence among shepherds, in a world far removed from royalty. There were no crowns, no armies, no signs of greatness, only survival. But even in this quiet life, something could not be hidden. Cyrus was different. Among other children, he did not follow. He led, he organized, commanded, and decided. In their games, he became the king. Not because he was told to, but because others naturally followed him. Respect came easily. Loyalty formed around him. It was as if, even without knowing who he truly was, he was already becoming what he was meant to be. One moment would change everything. During a simple game, Cyrus took control, assigning roles, giving orders, ruling as if it were real. But when one boy refused to obey, Cyrus punished him, not like a child, but like a king. The incident reached the authorities, and soon, the boy who had lived in obscurity was brought before the royal court. There, something became clear. This was no ordinary child. This was the one the prophecy had warned about. The child who was meant to die had survived, and now he stood before the very power that once tried to erase him. The world believed the danger had been removed, but in reality, it had only just begun. Because Cyrus was no longer hidden, and soon he would rise. From a forgotten child to a name that would soon shake kingdoms, the rise of Cyrus the Great was no longer a prophecy. It was becoming reality, and the empires that ruled the world were not ready for what was coming next. If you want to see how Cyrus takes his first step toward power, make sure you subscribe, because the next chapter changes everything.